Welcome to the By Design radio program. My name is Dr. James Purdian of Purdian Healthcare and PurdianHealthcare.com, where health literacy is the key to longevity. And as long as God has us on this side of eternity, my show is designed to help educate you and your families to feel better, function better, and live as many quality disease-free years as possible. Well, I hope everyone had a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving and hopefully implemented some of the things we spoke about in last week's show, which was eating habits and some of the things we should be doing on a holiday like Thanksgiving. And as we get into this show, looking forward with hesitancy over the next 5 or 6 weeks, because being 47 years old with 5 children and a business, the last 5 to 6 weeks of the year, I'm not sure if you go through this, but I have noticed in the last 10 or 15 years or so of my life some radical changes as to what's taken place around Christmas. And it's part of the By Design message, which is for all of us, which is what we're going to focus on today, taking that personal responsibility with respect to our health as well as our stress levels. And I think this is the proper time of the year to draw a correlation between man's plan and God's plan. And you've heard me speak now at nausea over the fact that adopting a man's plan to our physical, our nutritional, and psychological health is going to lead down the road of chronic illness and despair, because man's plan is certainly not anywhere near the capacity of God's plan for this miracle of a design called the human body. So avoiding the pitfalls and looking at the meaning of this time of year, writing down the meaning of what Christmas and Christmas season means to you and your family, I believe starts with pen and paper. So I'd like all of us, each one of you, to take a piece of paper and write down what does, as we embark on the next 5 or 6 weeks of the end of the year, what does it mean? What meaning does it have to you, and what are you going to do to avoid those pitfalls? For instance, it's very simple to go out for a dinner or a celebration and consume 3,000 to 4,000 calories in one meal. And ask yourself, when you write this list down, is that God's plan for our lives? So today we're going to focus on the Christmas holiday season and the holiday stress that comes with it. For remember, Luke 1:37, for with God nothing is impossible. So as we embark on making change from a physical, nutritional, and psychological perspective, we're looking at it from the By Design message, which is we want to live a God-given wellness lifestyle all year long. We don't want to live it 40 weeks a year. We don't want to live it 48 weeks a year. We want to live it each week of our year. So looking at the wellness lifestyle, let's take apart and look at it from a stress perspective. Remember, the By Design message is not one where we're looking at our health that we are in the control, the ultimate control. God is an ultimate planner, the ultimate designer, and the ultimate controller. But we have should have the discipline and the processes within our lifestyle to dictate what we're eating, what we're doing with our physical exercise, and what we are doing with the noodle between our ears, which is called our brain, and how stress impacts our daily decision. So he gave us that ability to have free thought, and let's use it for his glory. So when we look at the fact that there is no such thing as a diet, let's start there. What are the first 3 letters of the word diet? Write it down on the sheet of paper that we're discussing. You die on a diet, okay? Wellness lifestyle is all about living a certain way each day of our lives and honoring him through the plan that we set forth for ourselves. Some of us, for instance, can't tolerate peanuts. Some of us can't tolerate gluten. Some of us can't tolerate dairy products. It's called bio-individuality. It's the way he created us. We are bio-individuals. Bio means life. So each one of the lives that we have is created from a designer, and it is uniquely different from the person next to us. This is why I don't have a book to sell you. It's not one shoe size fits all. Each one of us needs to create a lifestyle, wellness lifestyle, based upon our own unique physiology, our own unique anatomy, male or female, the age bracket we're in. For instance, many of us find that the way we used to eat when we were 20, 25 years old, we can't tolerate those foods at the age of 50. There's a reason why. There's a reason why you as an individual change. You change from the womb to the tomb. And as a baby is born and grows and develops through puberty, and as we go through our 20s and our 30s, through our 50s and 60s, we're in a constant state of change. So that means what we eat, how we exercise, and how we process stress are all going to change along with it. So during the holiday season, when so many people are struggling with depression and anxiety and the financial stress that they place upon themselves by buying gifts for each other without realizing why they're doing it. Remember, go back to what I said. Write down what is the meaning of this time of year. It all starts with a plan. What is the goal? What is the reason we should be celebrating this time of the year, which is the Christmas season? And if you find yourself in that trap that it's gift giving and struggling to stay awake because we're doing 80 things when we should be doing one, this leads to an untempered amount of stress in our lives, which can be very damaging. You know, I was thinking back recently, I was talking to some friends of mine who my dad passed 2 years ago. And I think about my dad's life. He died at 83. You know, there was no cell phones. He barely picked up a telephone in my house. He went to work. He came home. He watched some TV, ate dinner with his family. Very simple way of living. And as much as we think we've progressed so radically since those days, or even my grandparents' days when there was no electricity or cars, you think about how much progression, quote unquote progression, we have made. At what cost? At what cost in terms of the chronic illness that are now at epidemic perspectives in our country, and the cost of that chronic illness that we've placed upon ourselves, our children, and our grandchildren? 18% of the GDP is healthcare. 75% of the healthcare is preventable. Chronic illness is highly preventable. So here we are. My dad would come home, didn't have a cell phone, didn't have a computer, very simple form of life. And I think that when we look at stress and we look at how much we're all doing, and me too, I'm talking to you and I'm talking to myself here, which is we're all in this together. We need to modify our own behavior. And I'm telling you, it starts with paper and pencil. Write down the list of things that you can control and the list of things you can't control. There's plenty of things that we have control over, meaning that we can control the types of foods we're eating, we can control the type of exercise, and we can control our relationships. Recently, I was reading a blog that was put out through Functional Medicine. It was published in September. And the article caught my eye because it's entitled, How Pain and Stress Create Fatigue and How to Repair It with Personalized Medicine and Lifestyle Strategy. Personalized medicine and lifestyle strategy. Just stop and think about that. Healthcare should be delivered to you, one-on-one, individually, back to the bio-individual conversation. That means we are all unique. Some of us are going to be larger than others. Some of us are going to be taller. Some of us will keep our hair. Some of us will lose our hair. We need to put aside the magazines at the checkout counters, at the local grocery store, because they have very little meaning, as does, the scale or the mirror. We need to look at bioindividuality from a personalized perspective. And that lifestyle strategy means planning, back to the paper and pencil. So get that paper and pencil out as we plan for the Christmas holiday stress that's upon us. The news, the shows that are on TV, the constant, badgering for me to buy something or else my life will be empty, like that happens. So we all should take that time to realize that looking at patients for a living with chronic illness like fibromyalgia or muscle pain, nerve pain, and fatigue is common. I mean, every day of my life, I'm riddled with patients with musculoskeletal pain, nerve pain, fatigue, anxiety, depression, lack of energy. They can't stay alert. They have brain fog. They have pain. They have stress. And I'm talking about all of these things that are not coming from trauma. They didn't have a car accident. They didn't fall off a ladder. I mean, just the day-to-day grind, the day-to-day stress that people are undergoing that cause this breakdown. The nervous system and the centers within the brain that control hormonal function then become impaired. And that hormonal function that I've explained to you in past shows should be like the New York Philharmonic, playing in one beautiful, harmonious unison. Yet it's playing like the fourth graders at the local elementary school. As cute as it might be, I don't want my endocrine system working like that. And stress directly impairs the way our hormones are functioning and are produced. And this production and maintenance of our hormonal systems then create downstream effects, like I shared with you a few shows ago about osteoporosis. And there's a direct correlation between stress, excessive cortisol that's coming from the adrenal gland during this time of stress or times of stress that impede our body's ability to do, in the case of osteoporosis, create bone mass. So stress and pain absolutely have a cognitive effect also in our brain, the way our brains function, our irritability, our brain fog, our memory, our short-term memory, more importantly, and how we could lose that because of our bodies dealing with these stress hormones. So when we look at Christmas and the holiday season of New Year's Day, and what people do to themselves throughout the parties, what you guys are going to be invited to over the next 5 weeks, what each one of us sort of has man's expectations of us over the next 5 weeks, stop. Stop and grab your pencil. Write down what you can do. Write down realistic expectations of yourself. And enjoy the meaning of Christmas. Because the meaning of this time of year, I don't know about you, but for me, it's family. It's being around my children. I take time off. And I blogged on this recently, this past week at drprudian.com. If I haven't missed something, the meaning of Christmas is to honor God and to look up. So instead of looking down in our pocketbooks and at our dwindling checking accounts and our bulging waistlines because of what goes on out there, we all need to take that time and realize that the stress is self-imposed. And if we look at it from that perspective, we could take the personal responsibility and have accountability this time of year. So we're not adversely affecting those adrenal hormones. Remember those adrenal glands I've taught you about? They lay on top of your kidneys. They're about the size of a walnut, and they make adrenaline. They also make cortisol. They are for a lion walking in the room, and you have this fight or flight reflex. You're not supposed to be using these hormones unless a lion is in the room. Yet many people driving around out there on Route 9 are using these hormones. Not you. I know you wouldn't do this, but the people on Route 9 are doing this. Using those hormones for daily energy. And they end up fatigued, they end up obese, they end up with type 2 diabetes, they end up with osteoporosis, and a host of other chronic illnesses. So unless we do it, unless we take the action steps to make these changes, we don't want to be affecting the adrenal hormones, which including in that is the thyroid hormones, which impedes growth hormone. So remember that New York Philharmonic because it's working as one system. The whole stress conversation, you may not understand this, but stress will have a direct, not an indirect, but a direct effect on our digestive system and our gut. The way our stomach, our small intestine, our large intestine, the way our gut works is a direct byproduct. Gut dysbiosis is a direct byproduct of stress. So those hormones that are circulating through us, and if the people on Route 9 are running around and they didn't write down the meaning of this time of the year, and they want to live in the world under man's guidance, which is a world full of anxiety and depression because they don't take upon the personal responsibility to keep it at bay, they're affecting the way their gut works. And the gut, guys, is where 70% of your immune system lies. So if you want to get sick come January 1st and into January, set yourself up with a bad diet, lack of exercise, and a whole lot of stress this time of year. Now, I know you're not going to do that, but like I said, there's a lot of people out on Route 9 that are doing that this time of year. So as we look at Christmas and as we look at this upcoming joyous season, which I remember being a kid, and it was the greatest part of the year, and I pray that, I know my kids feel that way. Let's go back to maybe the way my dad, came home, simple life, let's write things down, let's avoid those pitfalls, and let's not end up with chronic disease because of Christmas, okay? So, holiday, Christmas, let's have some fun, but at the same time, let's be wise. You've been listening to the By Design radio program. Thank you for listening to me, Dr. James Prudian, for this episode. If you'd like more information about me and Prudian Healthcare, please go to prudianhealthcare.com, and you could submit a question, and I'd be happy to answer it online. And I wish everyone a blessed week, and be well.